What's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk about doing deals without using your own money. The last 12 real estate investing deals that I've done, I have not used my own money, although I have liquid capital available. So this all started once upon a time when I first got started in business. I was actually working for Fairfax County Public Schools for something called the SAC program, and but I was only making like $26,000 a year. It was barely anything. So at the time I was living with my mom and dad in their basement, and I had found a real estate investing program. And the program cost money just like everything else. And so the program at the time cost $23,000. And I was like, dang, that's more than I'm making in a whole year. But I saw opportunity, and I was like, well, how could I possibly be a part of this program where I only have like $700 in my checking account? Because I would go to work and I would spend money on things that I didn't need. And by the time I paid all of my basic expenses, my bank account was empty again. So then I had to go back to work to get a refill on money. And so when I found the coaching program in the group, I was like, this is what I want to do with my life. I want to have more freedom. I want to control my circumstances. And for those of you that have known me for years, I knew I wanted to stop getting punched in the face for a living doing mixed martial arts. So this is what I did. And I want you guys to start thinking bigger, because there's so many possibilities for everyone and anyone in America. So I've always had good credit or credibility with the banking industry. My parents taught me if you borrow something, you pay it back. So have you guys ever gotten like these offers from the bank? And I have a bunch of them here. I get them all the time. Like these offers, they say 0% interest for 12 to 15 months. And so I would get things like this and just toss them. Just be done with them, right? Like, I'm not letting those banks get me. I'm not falling into that trap. And unfortunately, that's how we're taught to think. But what I did at the time, and here's another one I just got, right? These are basically balance transfer checks, and they say 0% APR through like November. So like 12 to 15 months of checks. So here's an idea for you guys. Maybe you're trying to start a business. Maybe you want to do a side hustle. Maybe you want to be mentored and coached by someone that you look up to, and it's an expensive program. So what I did is I took these checks and I wrote myself a check. Okay. Now these checks, typically they do charge like a 1 to 2% fee, but it's minimal to the overall plan and strategy. So I wrote myself a few checks and I filled up my bank account with cash, just cash, using these balance transfer checks. Then I went out and I paid for the coaching that I knew I wanted in order to become a real estate investor. And this is, guys, over a decade ago. So I did the program, I worked with the coaches, I was super motivated because at the time I was so afraid of money. I didn't think that someone like me could make the type of money that I've always envisioned. So I had a lot of like self-limiting beliefs. And so I'm so glad and grateful that I got a coach. So I filled that bank account up. I got started with the program and I freaking hustled. Like I hustled so hard. I started learning how to fix and flip and how the offers are made and how to deal with contracts. And it was like scary. I was like a deer in headlights. But that's why I needed mentorship. That's why I needed coaching. And so I got started with the business with 0% credit cards, essentially. And it was for 15 months. Well, I hustled and worked hard. And within 8 months, I was able to complete my first fix and flip. Now with that fix and flip, thankfully, I was scared, I was nervous, I was working with my coach, I was doing things wrong, but learning as I was getting through that process of getting my first fix and flip done. Now, on that first deal, I call this my belief check, my confidence check. That first deal, I was able to bring in $43,000 after all expenses, after every single expense, like after I paid off the underlying, well, when we sold it, we had to pay off the hard money lender. I paid off some private capital and I was left with $43,000. Now, what I did at the time was I was like, I'm not going to just blow this money. I owed 20-something thousand dollars to the credit card company because I filled up my checking account. So before I got hit with even $1 of interest, I took my profits and I paid off the credit card company. And that day, magic happened for me. That was the first time that I ever did a deal without using my own money, made profit, and everybody won, okay? Now, once I paid back the banks, they were like, wow, this kid Umair is a good borrower. And a few months after, they sent me more 0% money. This is how you get banks on your side. And as you borrow big chunks of money and pay it back, over time, they're gonna offer you more and more and more money or credit. So guys, this is one of many examples of, how I started a business with $0 out of pocket, made some profit, and everybody won. So the next time you get an offer for 0% credit, next time something lands in your mailbox, take advantage of it. Explore ideas. Become an entrepreneur. Even if you start part-time until you start making tons of money with it. I hope this training was helpful. This is just a glimpse of what's possible within the business, entrepreneurial, and real estate investing space. And I hope you guys learned something today. Well, hold on. This just popped into my head. Now, you know how before you do anything, you want to have a backup plan, right? What if I wasn't able to pay back the $20,000 that I borrowed? What if I couldn't pay it back because I didn't get a deal done? I didn't want to be stuck owing the bank and then be in trouble. Well, the way these credit card companies work is you typically pay back 1 to 2% every single month as long as you make the minimum payment. So I just did the math, guys. So $23,000, and if I had to pay back 1 to 2%, that was gonna be under $300 a month. And so I knew I still had my job, I knew I was still personal training, and I knew I wasn't gonna be in over my head. So I don't want you guys to do anything drastic, but the idea of this training is to help people think outside of the box to create more income as they're figuring out how to live their best life. This is another training brought to you by Umair Haq and Hands-On Real Estate. If you're looking for mentorship and you're looking to get into the space, give me a message, give me a call, and I'd be happy to help. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.